And here we go. So tonight we're going to be talking about the 2024 Supermax Max Cushion shoes that have come through my shoe lab and that I have tested and I have reviewed, and it is time to put them all down here and talk about them and see who is the Max King. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to go through each shoe, and at the end of it, we're going to figure out who the top dog is. So number one is going to be, in no particular order, the Topo Atmos. Now you guys know that I really like this shoe, and I really liked it whenever I ran in it. It is a lower drop shoe with a very secure heel and a nice secure midfoot and a super wide spacious toe box. Absolutely love the Topo line for their super big toe boxes, and this is no exception. So the first thing I noticed, and I think other people will say, that there's not really a lot of squish actually to the foam, but once under step and once getting going, this is actually quite the peppy ride. Now this is their zip foam, and it is a 5mm drop. Okay, and so just having a feel of just some of the things about the shoes that stand out to me for this is going to be the heel collar. Actually, this little pad right here that touches the back of the foot just above the heel bone, that Achilles right here. It is super secure and it is very comfortable along the lateral medial edges. It's almost like a memory foam material. It's super luxurious and I really enjoyed it. And so the other thing is how the tongue incorporates into the upper and as the sides go here. So you can see how there's actually quite a nice wide tongue here for the Atmos, and actually it is not gusseted. You know, having a look in there, you can see how it is not gusseted at all. But what it is nice and wide, and it actually doesn't slip back and forth. And if you can see these little green pieces, you can see these lace stays. It incorporates the lace with the tongue, so it's not sliding them back and forth. And then there's some decent spacing here. Really enjoyed how the tongue laid on top of the foot for the Atmos here. The upper is really plush and really nice and really comfortable and super breathable. Really enjoyed this. And of course, finally, this the heel counter itself is not super flimsy at all. In fact, it's quite stiff and it really doesn't move. So a very nice shoe. I use this for recovery runs, I use this for daily runs, I use this for walking around, and I use this for long runs. And I really found that this is quite versatile and very durable too. Not, you know, a bunch of coverage as far as the rubber goes, but the rubber itself is quite thick and very durable. So really enjoyed the Atmos. 39 in the heel and 34 in the front for that 5mm drop. Very good job, Topo. Really enjoyed this one. And the Atmos is coming in at 9.7 ounces for a men's size 9, and retail is $160 for this shoe. Let's actually grab some durometers of this. So we're going to start at the 5th toe and work our way around, ending up at the 1st toe. So the zip foam here, there's 2 layers, so we're going to go above and below. So above, zip foam towards the 5th toe is 38, below is 31. For the lateral heel, that's going to be above 26, below is going to be 31, and towards the medial heel, above is going to be 31.5, and below is going to be 30. First toe is above is going to be 32.5, and then below is going to be 21. Okay, and there you go, zip foam for the Topo Atmos. So next up we have the Puma MagMax. Oh man, so brand new for 2024. This shoe is the first of its kind, and even feeling it again, it's just quite quite the maximalist shoe, and that's exactly what we're doing here. And I think Puma just pulled out all the stops as far as how much stack height can they get. What do we have? We have the nitro foam right there going on, and man, what a really fun heel striking shoe. I took it out again, and it just confirmed my thought that this is definitely a heel lander, a rear foot striker's dream. Even some of the midfoot stuff that I was doing. All right, we'll get into the drop here in a second, but the things I like about the MagMax is the tongue. Oh man, and so how stretchy this, like, look at that. It's like super stretchy, and it just feels so buttery smooth across the top of the foot. I mean, looking in here, it is a It is a gusseted tongue on both sides. You know, the spacing of the eyelet chain is nice and wide. So anytime it's super wide and not like crazy out here, I feel like the laces have more of an opportunity for customization as far as pressure distribution across the top of the foot. And that's exactly what happened here. Even though these laces are kind of on the thinner side, I feel like the plushness of the tongue, which actually isn't super duper plush in the middle here, but it definitely is plush at the top. But that said, you really couldn't feel the laces across the top of the foot. The other thing that struck out at me is, you know, it's an 8mm drop, and we'll get into the stack height here in a second. But I definitely felt whenever I would land on, you know, more of the front of my foot or even some of the midfoot, that my foot felt like it wanted to slide forward, which wasn't great. But again, using this as a heel striking shoe, it was nice. And actually, whenever you did that, it felt like the shoe just wanted to cruise control itself all the way, okay? And so getting my hand in here, and it's just so plush. Man, this is just plush. And I know that their big thing is bouncy AF. I really didn't feel that it was like the bounciest shoe of the shoes that I'll talk about here. The other thing is this power tape here. I can actually feel this. Maybe it's just my brain thinking that it's there, and then I'm feeling more than what's actually happening. But I definitely felt cradled as far as the back of my foot, along the midfoot here, in the back here. Very well supported and super duper stable. Okay, even though this is like a massive stack of foam here, I didn't feel out of control at all. I felt like the shoe was quite stable. And you can see this flange here, how it kind of pokes out towards the lateral aspect of the front of the shoe when you're coming down. However it is, it's just nice and stable. And, you know, by the time that you are kind of moving along through here, it kind of self-rights itself. And is all good to go. The other thing that I want to mention is this Puma grip. Man, I think of all the shoes that I'm talking about, yeah, I'll just say it here that the Puma grip, this is going to be the grippiest, I think, of all the shoes that I've tested this year, besides the R1 from Mount DeCoast. That's the other really grippy one that I wasn't expecting, but it super was. There it is right there. Grip, grip, grip all day long. This shoe is going to last like hundreds of miles. I'm just predicting that now. So the Puma MagMax, even though it's one of the more expensive shoes, I feel like is definitely going to last a long time. Let's actually look at the stack height here. And 47 in the heel and 39 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop. That is a huge amount. MagMax is coming in at 10.3 ounces for a men's size 9. And the price for the MagMax is $180. So let's actually check the durometer of this one. So we've got 3 different layers here. I'm gonna actually test all 3 because I feel like we just don't want to be missing anything. So starting at the 5th toe, the top of the 3 layers is gonna be 26. The black here is gonna be 35.5, and just below that is 28.5. Moving on to the wings here, actually, of the lateral heel of the MagMax, that's gonna be 27.5, and moving down towards the bottom here. Towards the bottom we have 18.5. Interesting. Moving into the medial heel towards the top, about those wings, 32.5. And the medial heel towards the bottom is 27. And coming into the first toe, the white foam is 32. The black foam is 32. And then the one directly under that is 33. So a couple different durometers going on for the MagMax. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Of course, 2024 maximalist shoes can't be talked about without bringing in the New Balance more. The V5, we talked about the V4, the V5, and the V6 is on the way, but right here is the V5. Man, so this shoe, once again, very, very squishy, but also a lot of energy return. It's just a huge stack of that Fresh Foam X going on. It looks like it's a dual layer here. All right, it's got some pretty sweet geometry. And, you know, I've done so many different reviews about this shoe, and it's just such a nice, cruisy shoe. It's so bleeding comfortable. Oh my gosh. The tongue forever is just so dang plush. The laces are just perfect on this shoe. I absolutely love the upper. The upper of this, you know, I think I like this more than the V4 now that I've, like, you know, really had a lot of time in this shoe. The cushion for inside goes all the way here, all the way back, and it's super mega cushion pillow situation with the heel here, and it goes towards the medial side over here as well. You know, the liner of the shoe, the insert of the shoe, it's not the squishiest, but it just works so well with this Fresh Foam X, guys. And then it's also quite durable. You know, not the most coverage as far as the rubber goes, but it is quite durable, and I've actually been quite impressed. And also the landing platform of this one is pretty wide too. You know, your foot's sitting, you know, somewhere way in here, and then way out here towards the outer, you have quite a bit of stability as far as the forefoot goes. You know, I really didn't have an issue with forefoot stability except for the V13, the 1080, which we're actually not going to be talking about during this video. But overall, I've been really impressed with the stability factor of some of these higher stack height shoes. You know, we're not going to get too far into it, but sometimes you lose a lot of that stability and ability for proprioception in some cases for certain heel strike or certain foot strikes with some of these higher stack shoes. But I think companies have done a better job in understanding that, still giving the protection, still giving the stack, but also giving the person's foot an ability to communicate up north what needs to happen as far as certain muscle activation and all of that. All right, so moving into the durometer of this, and I know I've talked about this on, you know, some of my other videos, but we're gonna do it again here. All right, we got a couple different foams here. We're gonna start at the fifth toe on the gray foam. That's gonna be 27, then just below that is gonna be 33.5, and then coming back to the lateral heel, we have 26.5, and below that we have 25, so a little bit squishy. All right, moving into the medial heel towards the top here, we have 25.5, a little bit of wings, not as much as the MagMax, and then medial heel on the bottom. Let's try that again. That's gonna be, let's find a good one. Yep, 29.5, and then around the first toe on the top, that's gonna be 27, and then below that, right here, it's gonna be 28. The more V5 is coming in at 10.7 ounces. And this one is, I think, the cheapest of the bunch at $155. Okay, you guys knew that I was gonna be talking about this. I mean, we can't talk about like Max cushion shoes for 2024, I almost said 2025 there, without the Superblast 2. Oh man, here it is. So Superblast 2, you guys know the story about this shoe and me, but we have gotten along just fine. I think this is a premium all-arounder shoe. It's just capable of doing so much. All right, so we're gonna start with the upper. The upper is actually not super soft. It's got a little bit of a scratch to it, but on the inside, you know, it definitely has a lot of luxuriousness as far as where it's touching the toes. It feels lightweight in the hand. It's super duper bouncy. All right, so the tongue is quite sporty. It's not even that thick at all. I mean, there's like this little pad here and a little pad there. Overall, the tongue is quite thin. It's very sporty. Again, it's got a lot of ventilation going. Not too much, you know, business going on as far as the eyelet. You know, reinforcement pieces here, and the laces aren't even that thick. Okay, so a very sporty, lightweight upper with a lot of ventilation and quite a bit of structure as far as the toes go. But again, it's, you know, more of a longer distance, you know, cruisy shoe. You know, you could race in it for sure. But also, you know, you can do quite a few different jobs in it. You can go on your easy, yeah, sure, you can go on your easy runs. You can go on your daily runs. You can go on your long runs. Even tempo speeds, I feel like would be achievable with this FF Turbo Plus right here, going on in the Superblast shoe. Okay, but again, it's a lot of structure in the heel. Big wings. I mean, look at that compared to, you know, your MagMax here. I mean, you got wings for days, more wings than B Merrill's. Okay, that's just so much. You got Buffalo Wild Wings going on over here. It's, you know, wing fest. All right, that's enough about the wings, sidewalls, whatever you want to call them. Oh man, and I just really enjoyed the Superblast 2, guys. So very bouncy, very nice, very nimble, very quick, and very premium feeling for sure. So we have 46 in the heel and 38 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop of this FF Turbo Plus foam, y'all. Oh my gosh, so exciting. So where's my durometer? Where is it? Where's my gauge at? Oh boy, let's go, let's go. All right, so we got two different foams, okay? We got FF Turbo Plus on the top, and I believe this is FF Eco, FF Blast Eco right here. Here we go in the fifth, that's gonna be 38.5, and then just below that is gonna be 27.5. We're gonna go lateral heel, which is 32, and then lateral heel on the bottom, that's gonna be 34. Medial heel up top, that's gonna be, come on now, we got 41.5, and the medial heel on the bottom is going to be 32.5. All right, around that first toe on the top is going to be 26. Below that, it's going to be 26.5. So this shoe is probably the most expensive of all of them, $200. But I really, really enjoyed the Superblast 2. I feel like this is also going to be a shoe that's going to last a long time. Very, very high build quality as far as construction goes. So really, really, really enjoy the Superblast 2. And I definitely feel like it matches the maximum cushion category for sure. An honorable mention, even though this is a plated shoe, we're going to talk about it anyway. This is the Hoka Skyward X. You know, of the shoes here, this is going to be the most expensive. I feel like this is going to be the biggest stack height. This shoe, when we were talking about just bouncy and maximal and cushion and springy and nice and forgiving, I can't help but think about this Skyward X. Oh my gosh, and it has got so much Puma going on, so much Puma foam. You know, there's a harder foam on the inside, this little heel carriage here, and then you've got the plate, which is here, which actually acts as more of a spring versus a rocker. So I don't think that this counts as a super trainer. That could be argued. I know, you know, you guys can make a case for either one, but I just feel like it's just so bouncy, so springy, so forgiving. It's got this like really ridiculous like heel counter back here. It's kind of on the heavier side. You know, it's got all this cushion going on to the tongue at the top here. The laces are super wide and fat and fluffy. The upper is just really, well, it's not even super soft even, but it's just roomy, roomy, roomy. There's so much stuff going on, but it's got a very, very secure heel. I didn't have any problems with heel slippage whatsoever with the Skyward X. Oh man, oh man, oh man, crazy. It's 49 in the back and 44 in the front for a 5mm drop, and it's $225. You know, not going to be counted in the category, but I feel like it deserves an honorable mention. All right, so of the maximum cushion shoes, the one that I'm gonna have to pick for my favorite between the Topo Atmos, the ASICS Superblast 2, the New Balance More V5, and the Puma MagMax is gonna be actually the Topo Atmos. Ah, yes. So this is going to be my pick for my favorite cushion, maximal, lovely, forgiving shoe of 2024. Okay. Now this is not to say this is the best overall shoe for the year. We'll get into that later on. But as far as this category goes, I'm going to give it to Topo. Okay. I absolutely love the forefoot of this shoe. The thing that really sold it for me was just how nice and secure the midfoot was. The arch of this shoe, I know one guy mentioned that it feels like a golf ball. I know that this arch isn't for everybody in the Atmos, all right? But the heel is just so, man, it just holds you tight. It's just so nice. You know, the heel, it just sits right in here. It's like the perfect fit. Oh my gosh. And then the zip foam here, which I thought was not going to be very energetic. I didn't think it was going to be very bouncy, but the more I ran in it, I actually enjoyed a shoe that didn't overly accommodate my gait, right? I didn't feel like I was running in quicksand. Not to say that, you know, these other ones were exactly like that, but I can definitely feel that there was a difference in some of the more harder foam going on in the zip foam. But at the same time, the 5mm drop, the very, very luxurious feeling arch support, the laces fit perfectly. The fit was just brilliant with the Topo, and it's not even a gusseted tongue. I don't know, man, whatever's going on, please, Topo Athletic, do not change the recipe that you have with the Atmos coming into the Atmos 2. If you guys are thinking about doing that, because man, this is just perfect. If anything, you can maybe, you know, get rid of some of this, but even then I feel like that might change the geometry of the shoe. Don't change a thing. Don't change a thing, and then we'll be good. Okay, well, that's what I got, everybody. So that is the pick for me for 2024 as far as maximum category. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. My name is Jason. I'm a nurse practitioner in podiatry. I like to talk about running shoes and podiatry specific things, general guidance, not medical advice. And that's it. That's all I got for you. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful fall. Happy Thanksgiving if we don't catch you, and I'll see you in the next one.